Hi guys, welcome to Old Sneelock's workshop. I'm down here in the clamp room. Well, actually, this is my editing desk, and I'm sitting here trying to edit all of the videos that normally would be seen on my channel. The thing I have to do is I have to go through and mark each one whether it's going to be uh, for children or not. And to do that, I have to go through and look up each one of the videos, then go into Studio, change the setting on the video, save it, and then go on to the next one. Now I can see up to 50 videos at a time on the screen. Well, I have to scroll back and forth to see them. It's not something that you just easily do. So it's kind of a pain in the neck. Would be really great if somebody had thought ahead and said, you know, there's going to be 22 million people out there in the world that have to go through and change all their videos. They have to mark them because we didn't have to mark them up until this month, actually a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago. But there was no way in the world for us to know that. Yeah, I'm talking about Kappa. Ken Small Engines asked me if I'm talking about Kappa. The tools that they've set up to take care of this are their typical, we didn't think about it before this happened. Now, this thing started back in, I believe, 1998, when they actually, yeah, it is scary for us little creators. It's scary for everybody. I have 1,500 videos. I've been online a long time. And there for a while, I subscribed to the theory that, well, the thing you should do, just lost camera. There we go. The thing that you should do is to post as many videos as possible. Well, now that's biting me in the butt. With 1,500 videos, and it's taking me about a minute per video, I have, let's see, up until the 10th of December, and today is the 20th, so that means I have 20 days. I've got 100 of them done. Actually, 108 as of this morning. Like I said, it takes about 2 minutes per video. So I have 1,400 roughly to do because I just made another one. Fortunately, this one is already marked, so I don't have to go back through and edit this one. But what I'm doing at this point, the plan is to go through and mark every one of these videos to be for adults, and then that will let me continue to have the channel open until January 1st. At that time, I need to either fish or cut bait. And by that I mean, if I'm going to have the channel up and running, I have to take the risk that some chowderhead is going to decide that my videos are mismarked. And that's really what it's about. It's not what the content is of the video. I could have zombies cutting off people's heads and eating their brains. And that's okay as long as I mark it for kids. Because they don't care what the kids see. What they don't want to have happen is YouTube gather their personal information on their little net that they've set up to capture information and set up a personal ad profile for that person, that child. So the camera's glitching on me, guys. This is it's working, but it's really doing it oddly. So anyways, back to the story. It's not about what the content is. It's only about whether YouTube is collecting data on children under the age of 13, 12 and under. So if I don't mark my videos or I mark them incorrectly, then it is my fault. And the FTC will come after me and charge me a tremendous amount of money. Now, I imagine a lot of us have been looking at all the videos and explanations and talking about things and trying to figure out what we're going to do next. And like I said, on January 1st, I have to fish or cut bait. I will have everything marked, made for adults. And when we get to January 1st, I'll take every video and I will delete them. I will leave one tile video up, just a simple header saying Old Sneelock's workshop is on hiatus. We're going to hide in the weeds and wait until the cannibals have left the room, and then we'll come back when the smoke's cleared. Because that's the only plan that I can see that's got a chance of working. If I stay with all the videos up, even one, anything at all, that one tile video is a risk. If for some reason their algorithm gets a wild hair and decides that my one video is a problem, then they will come after me. Camera glitched again, guys. Didn't have this happen the last time. Maybe it's because I didn't talk as long. There, we're back. Yeah, it is over 40 grand. It's $42,530. That's what they can sue you for. Doesn't matter what the number is. The lawsuit, the idea of the lawsuit alone is enough to make it so that I can't risk it. Paying a lawyer for 5 minutes work for him to tell me you're screwed, walk away. That's what's going to happen. The lawyer's going to say, you got no chance of fighting this because you can't afford me. And he'd be right. I can't afford a lawyer. I can't afford 10 minutes of a lawyer. So, as of January 1st, this channel will still be here. There'll be a one video showing just as a placeholder, because the way AdSense works, they pay 21 days after the end of the month. So the 21st of every month after the amount of money has accumulated, I get a check. Well, they actually direct deposit it into my checking account. The issue is I have to have the channel open. If I delete the channel, I don't get paid. They just take the money, which admittedly isn't big money. It's probably going to be a couple $100 after Christmas, because December sucks. December really, you would think December would be really banging, but no. November really kicks it. But December, it all fails. Thanks for stopping by, Ken. Hi, Matt. So basically what I'm doing is just telling you where I'm going to be and how it's going to work. And I understand there's all different reasons and all different thoughts and ideas on what can happen and how it can be done differently. I have to do what's best for me and mine. I have to make sure I cover myself so that there's no splashback, because they're going to go for blood. The FTC is the FTC. They're from the government. They're here to help. Short story. Back in 1979, we bought a house over by Quincy. Brand new. Didn't have a thing in it. We had to buy towel holders and toilet paper roll holders and there wasn't any curtain rods or anything. It just brand new, just built. So one of the things that we decided to do is we wanted to put a screen door on. Well, that was about the time that they said, "Oh, taxes are really bad, guys." The IRS came out and said, "You know what? Here's what we're going to do for you. Just deduct any possible thing that you can. Don't worry about it. Just deduct it. We'll fix it afterwards if there's a problem." Okay. We went on the website, and my wife, who is a very accomplished person with numbers, has always done the taxes, except for the few times that we've had a business and then we've had to hire an accountant. But she's always done the taxes. We had bought a screen door. The only energy saving thing that we had done all year long was buy a screen door. It was like $150. It's a long time ago. $150 was a really good screen door. Full glass, thermal pane, had the just really nice screen door. So there was that camera again. So we put that down as an energy savings because they said, just put it down. Four years later, we got audited. That $159 screen door, which I got to deduct, which means I got to take 10% of that. Yeah, 10% of the cost of that was reduced from my tax bill. So for $15, I got audited. By the time they were done, and that's the only thing that they found wrong. That's it, just one thing. I ended up paying $4,000 in payments and penalties. Yeah, $15 savings. 4 years later, cost me $4,000. Had to go to the bank, borrow the money. Didn't have it. I'd have taken $15 out in the front yard and set it on fire before I do that again. And you think I want to go up against the FTC? It's another unregulated, no oversight. The FTC just does what the FTC does. When's the last time you voted on anything the FTC does? Now, okay, it's a representative form of government. I have a representative and I have a senator. Oh, Tractor Man. Well, we're talking about COPPA, and I'm saying what I'm going to be doing. I'm setting up to close the channel for business on January 1st. There still will be a channel. I have to keep the channel open in order for AdSense to pay me. So it has to stay open. So it has to stay open at least until the 21st of January. When I get paid, I will no longer be posting any videos from January 1st on. But once I get paid, then I could close the channel. But if they're not, if they're not going to go after my mere existence and a video that, well, it's actually going to be just a picture that says we're closed for business right now. We'll be back when the war's over. So that's a thumbnail of what I'm doing. Just letting you know what's going to happen. And the possibilities are endless, but I'm hoping that will make it so that the FTC will leave me alone. Because I tell you, guys, they scare the hell out of me. Let's see, Curiosity Forge. While I do believe something needs to be done to curb the horrifying things that have happened with child-friendly content on YouTube, I don't think it's being handled well right now. Yeah, child-friendly content is not the issue. Got to remember, it's about YouTube collecting data on the children so that they can focus ads. They're selling the concept of being able to focus an ad to child-friendly content. Now, if you mark your videos child-friendly content, remember what happens. 1, no longer can you have comments. 2, no playlists. 3, they can't be downloaded. 4, they can't be shared. So by the time you do all that, you've pretty much taken the channel and gutted it. There's just nothing left. So setting it all to child-friendly content, or as they say, made for children, that's not really a good solution unless you're willing to cut your ad revenue by 85%. That's the rough estimate put out by Daryl Eves, and he's been doing this long enough, I actually believe him. Now, I've been hearing a lot of things from people, and I've been commenting. You may have seen some of the comments. I've been commenting on a lot of these videos where people are saying, oh, don't leave, don't leave. It's going to be better. Well, you know, if my business was selling you something to keep you on YouTube, in other words, if I'm selling something like TubeBuddy, nice group of people, I got nothing wrong, no complaints with them. But if I'm selling something like TubeBuddy, the only way I get to sell it is if somebody's online to use it. If all the creators cut and run, then TubeBuddy folds up like a tent and blows away in the wind. So if I were TubeBuddy, I'd be saying, yeah, stay. Because quite frankly, they don't have any risk. I mean, they have videos on the channel. I don't know, maybe they've got some other thing that they think is going to make it so that the FTC doesn't come after them. The FTC has nothing to stop them from going after anybody. And me thinking that the FTC won't come after me because I'm small potatoes, that's nuts. They're going to use an algorithm. The algorithm goes after the big, the small, and the in-between. All it's going to say is, does this, there goes the camera again. They're going to say, is this listed as child-friendly content? No. Does it have bright colors in the thumbnails? Well, yeah, we were told put in bright colors because bright colors attract interest. People look at bright colors. You want them to be noticing your thumbnails and click on them. That's a big theory that was pushed out. Brian G. Johnson, great guy for helping you make new thumbnails. And Daryl Eves also. Here's ideas on how to make things better. And I'm sure there are other parts going on with child-friendly stuff. Anytime you have children involved in anything, it's always a risk because there are people who are just horrid. They're just plain horrid people. Walk the streets. Make your own decisions. But I wouldn't let my kid walk most of the streets that I've walked as a kid, right on up to now. I'm not worried too much about walking downtown Kalamazoo. If I had a 3-year-old, I certainly wouldn't set him loose on Main Street and say, go for a walk. So, yeah, there's all kinds of crap in the world. Smooch has posted something that I'm not going to show you, but I'll paraphrase it. He's seen a heck of a lot worse and heard a lot worse on other channels. Well, sounds like it's all about the money. Yeah, it is. It always has been. It always will be. Up until AdSense started and they began to sell ads on YouTube, once it became viable and people actually became interested in watching it and repeating it, let's see. Tractor Man, what risk are we to be concerned about with the types of video you and I do? Well, quite frankly, I can't see anything where we would be at risk. None of our stuff is about kids. None of our stuff is supposed to be about kids. Having kids watch the channel, am I adverse to it? No, I'm fine with kids watching the channel. We strive really hard here to not have anything that isn't kid friendly, because the original intent was I made these videos after my first heart attack. And I said, maybe I won't get to see my grandkids. So let's let them see Grandpa. Let's let them see Grandpa doing what Grandpa does best and loves to do. So I made a lot of videos and made it so that if my grandchildren are watching this, I don't have to worry about what they're going to think about Grandpa. And I'm pretty sure everybody who watches the channel doesn't miss any bad content. And I know, Tractor Man, that you have a very straightforward channel and you are very careful about what you say and who you say it to. So why would there be a worry for our channels? Well, because they're saying really vague things. Is it attractive to children? When I was 8 years old, I played with tools. That was my fun. My dad gave me my first brace and bit, which is hanging over there on the wall, when I was 8 years old. Actually, I think he gave it to me when I was about 5, because he caught me with his quarter-inch drill motor, electric drill motor, drilling holes in the yard. I didn't know to pull the trigger. I was just stabbing it into the yard. But still, he thought, okay, if you're going to play with tools, here's some tools that won't hurt anything. So I drilled holes in fence posts and trees and ground and all kinds of stuff. And from then on, I've had tools. So are children going to be attracted to tools? Yeah, I think so. How many times have you come up with a screwdriver missing because your kid's taking it to go out and open a paint can? Well, maybe not a paint can. Now they have rattle cans. But, you know, you get the idea. So is it attractive to children? The other thing they say is, does it have bright colors in the thumbnails? Well, yeah, it's an orange tractor or a bright yellow tractor, or it's a tractor. Kids are fascinated by tractors. I have tractor videos. You do too. So is it attractive to children? Maybe. So what happens if they determine that it is? First thing they do is they say, you're in violation. And then they send you a summons and say, you have to go to court and show up for this lawsuit. Now, I'm sure all of us want to pack up our best suit, move to the city for however long it takes to run the lawsuit, walk in and have them say, you really can't stop us. We're going to hit you with a $42,530 judgment against you. Payout. Now, you can go get your lawyer and drag him down there, and he'll say, he will say pretty much the same thing mine did. Well, you know, just because this was going to happen, we set up an LLC for you. And you gave me $1,000, and we're paying $50 a year every year thereafter. So if you get sued, the first thing that happens is you say, I have an LLC. It's not me. You're going to sue my channel, and my channel is gone. Done. Okay. In the meantime, I've had to get my suit on. Hate that damn suit. I had to go to court. I really hate going to court. I've sat on jury duty, I don't know how many times, maybe 5, 6. And that's one of those things where you either show up or they send the sheriff to get you. Yeah. Same kind of deal when somebody issues a lawsuit against you. If you don't go, it's a summary judgment against you because you didn't show up to defend yourself. If you do go, you're going to fight this faceless monster that has more lawyers than a porcupine's got quills. And they're just about as much fun to brush up against. So, yeah, they're going to eat your lunch. That's what's going to happen, guys. They're going to come. They're going to take whatever they want to take. And they're going to walk away and leave whatever's left. There won't be much. I went through one bankruptcy. It's not a fun thing, guys. Even though you can protect some of your assets, there's 7 years. You can't borrow any money. Now, I was smart. I hired a lawyer and I did the whole 9 yards and got out of it with a minimal amount of damage. But my wife has a really good credit rating. Mine sucks. Even today, because I had a bankruptcy involved in it. I was smart enough to just let me go bankrupt. So let's see. Bob Weaver. My kids watch videos with me, and I have never thought twice. I drop my boy off at your place to work and learn any day and not worry a bit. These videos should be watched by children. Well, see, that's the death knell of the whole thing. Because YouTube says, if you mark your videos as not made for children, then we can collect all the data on your videos. And you can continue to have comments and do everything just like you've always done. There's no change to your life. But if you mark it as made for children, we take away everything. You can't make any money on it. You can't do anything with it. You can't save it. You can't share it. You can't do anything with it. And all this is in the terms of service agreement that we all signed when we signed up to be creators. The way it's worded right now, from what I understand, even if you don't make child-friendly content, of an outside entity decides it could be attractive to children, you can get hit. Yes, that's it. The FTC is going to either use an algorithm, which probably they would use an algorithm. That's what YouTube uses, and we all know how reliable that is. And YouTube actually owns the system. They have professional programmers. The FTC has the same kind of idea that they had when they started Obamacare. You remember how the rollout for Obamacare worked? Yeah, that was a horrible mess. And a lot of people had huge problems. And it was just a continuous, convoluted evolution of crap flowing downhill as fast as it could go and gathering speed and mass as it went. So the FTC, they're not even in the business of running an algorithm. They're going to hire it done. Or they're going to hire some, let's see. This camera thing is not good. Oh well, I won't be doing this long. They'll either have an algorithm or they will hire a group of people from Mumbai or Ceylon or wherever it happens to be, some faceless group of people, to watch the videos and click a button and say, sue them or don't. I don't want to risk my life on something like that. Build a guitar from complete scratch. That's nice and it would be fun, but not my thing. I'm more about fixing the tools that you would use to make a guitar. Now, I'm not adverse to making a guitar, but it's not really the thing I do. I would spend my time doing something else long before I did that. Let's see. 65 Ford. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Child friendly is different than content being created for children. Not from the terms of the FTC ruling. If you allow YouTube to collect data on your videos, in other words, you say they are not made for children, and a child watches the video and their data gets collected, YouTube can be sued. They won't worry about it too much because they got an army of lawyers big as the Roman army back in the first century. Yeah, they're pretty well protected. But if that video is traced back to you, the FTC can and will sue you. Now, they can and will sue you maybe after the first couple, they'll stop suing people because it's too much trouble. Here they've gone after this guy like me down in his basement with a pile of old tools, the total value of which is maybe $1,000, and they've taken all my assets. Well, okay, they've taken my house. I have, I get to retain like 22% of my house. They've taken my other car because I have to have one car, but I'm retired. I don't need both cars. So they take one car. They take all my tools. They take my tractor, which really would tick me off. And they strip me down to just the point where I have enough to survive. And then I get a judgment against me from the lawyer because the lawyer says you still owe me. Not worth it, guys. I love having you guys on the channel. I love doing the videos. It's a lot of fun. I do the projects, and I really am doing the projects anyways. You know, you're watching me fix my tractor. You're watching me sharpen a saw. I wanted to learn how to sharpen a saw, and I shared how I went about doing it. So that's all fun stuff for me. That's things I like to do. Many channels that make their living on YouTube will be shut down after losing upwards of 90% of their revenue stream. Yeah. If you're making your living off YouTube, this is going to suck big time. Yeah, Tractor Man, I can just see you saying, I don't want to wear this suit. No, it's not about being monetized. Monetization is a side point. The monetization is a thing that YouTube started to make money. And they still make money from it. For every penny that I get, they get 10 cents. So if you think about it, chances are most of the creators won't miss the AdSense money if they just said, we're not doing AdSense anymore. Done. We're not doing AdSense on YouTube. We'd go back to doing it for free just because we like to. I did that for 5 years before I even signed up for AdSense. In the beginning, I said, that's a bunch of crap. Sounds like a scam. I don't think I want to get involved in it. So I said, I'm not going to do it. Wasn't until, like I said, 5 years later, 2011, that I said, you know what? There's money laying on the table and I'm leaving it. I'm walking away from it. What's it take to get it? I looked into it. It didn't appear to be that much trouble. I signed up for the thing, said, okay, here you go. I'm ready to go. They said, fine. You have to make $100 a month, or you have to make $100 before we send you a check. It took me the better part of a year to make that first $100. Yeah, this was not a big option. We had a big laugh about it because they said, okay, if I'm going to get paid, I have to set up a checking account because I want to have them send me the money electronically. I don't want to get a check. So I went down to the bank and told them what I was doing. I said, I want to set up an account for my AdSense money from my YouTube channel. And by that time, I had made $3. $3. Yeah, I was really rolling in the money. I said, I'm going to set up the account just so that it's done. I said, I'm going to set up the account just so that it's done. And that way, when the money comes, I will have the money isolated from any other income or my 401k and my checking account, my savings account, and the house payment. Nothing is going to be involved in that. It was a little bank in downtown Richland. It was a locally owned little bank in downtown Richland. And they set up an account. And after I got my first check, which was $100, I mean, $100, took a year to get it. I told my wife, I said, well, we're really rolling in the money now. And we had a big laugh about that, and I took her out to dinner, and I said, okay, there went all the profits for old Sneelock's workshop. But, it's money I wouldn't have got. It was free found money. So we just enjoyed it. And that's pretty much what we've been doing with it. I did set up a budget for the channel. I said, okay. Yeah, I'm wandering off from the subject. I think the problem with just dropping AdSense is it still doesn't stop Google from gathering data, which leaves creators vulnerable to FTC smackdowns. That is it. You have hit it right on the nose there, Curiosity Forge. Matt Cooper says many are doing in-video promotions now instead of AdSense. And, Wrangler Star does this thing where he sells stuff through Amazon. I think they call that some kind of an association. And I looked at that and said, nah, that's worse than AdSense. That is all kinds of crap. But he does it for a living. That's his business. He has 1 million subscribers. He has 1 million subscribers, and he has his whole family working on it. And God bless him. More power to him. I hope it works out well. He's really thinking hard about it. It sounds like he's actually looking this as a professional job. This is what he does. This is not what I do. This is a thing that I have fun with. And it's a thing we have fun with. Yeah, and everybody has their own opinion about everything. He's who he is. I'm who I am. I don't have to be him, and he doesn't have to be me. So, well, thanks, Matt. It's just one of them things. Now, looks like I've been on here now for about 40 minutes. And I've had to reset the camera I don't know how many times. So I'm thinking it's about time to draw a close. I wanted to really just let you know where I was at and try and clear the air a little bit about why. It's not because I don't want to do this. It's not because I'm mad. It's not because I'm disheartened or frightened. Well, I am frightened. I don't want to risk things. We used to go to Las Vegas. Back when I lived in Quincy, we went to Las Vegas like 5 times. First time I went, I said, I'm not going to lose any money on this. These people are evil. They're going to take everything I own. Because we all know that at the time, my opinion was, let's see, how do I say this so I'm not getting sued later? There was a fear that there were people there who were not someone you would take home to meet your mother, and that they would steal my money. Might be, don't know. Never ran into any of them. But anyways, we went to Las Vegas, my wife and I, with 2 friends. And I said, because at the time I was very adamant about this, and Lydia, being the wise and generous person that she is, said, okay, let him rant. I said, we're going to budget $20 a day for gambling. I know we're going to want to do it, but $20 a day, that's it. So the first day we got there, we got off the plane, went to the casino, got checked into our rooms, went down to the casino floor, and my friend had been there many times. He said, well, first thing we're going to do is go play the slots. And I said, you go ahead. I've got $20. So I got $20 in quarters. And I went over to the quarter machine, and I played maybe half an hour. During that time, I lost $15. I thought, I'm not having any fun. I spent $15. I didn't get a hamburger out of it. I could have had a drink. I didn't realize at the time that I could have gotten a free drink. But, with quarter slots, they don't hit you very often because you're not a high roller. So I was standing at quarter slots and lost $15. Terry came over and said, "Hey, come on, let's go over here and we'll play this dollar slot." And I said, "Nope, don't want to. I've already spent $15 and lost $15 doing something. It's not that much fun. I don't want to do it." So that's my philosophy. That's my philosophy of life. If you don't bet more than you can afford to lose. Now, little aside, Lydia said, "Why don't you go take this $20, buy $20 worth of tokens, and play $20 through the slot machine. Get it out of your system, be all done with it." I said, "I don't want to." She says, "No, might be your only chance to come out to Las Vegas. Go ahead and do it." So what I did is my friend Terry and I decided that we would put $20 into the till. That meant we were betting $40, and the slot machine took $3 at the pull. So he put in $3 and pulled the handle, and then I put in $3 and pulled the handle. Well, wouldn't you know it, being born dumb lucky as I am, first thing we did is we hit, and we won a couple $100. Well, by the time we walked away from the slot machines after having got all those free drinks and bet a bunch of money and won a bunch of money, I ended up walking away from the slot machines with $1,100 in my pocket from the $20 that I originally invested. And Terry had something like $1,400 because he'd been playing before I started. So, is it possible to come out of this okay with clean skirts and no scars? I'm sure it's possible. But just like when I was betting on the slot machine, I bet $20. I could afford to lose $20. I had $20 that I didn't need. I don't have $42,530. I don't have $42,530. Just don't. Yep. Thanks, Curiosity Forge. You too. Wesley, the house always wins because it's their house. Would they be able to build that really nice place if they were spending money and not getting anything? I was once told that the entire cost of Las Vegas was paid for by the nickel slots. I don't know if the nickel slots cover it anymore. And there's a lot of competition, so they may not have quite the number of people going through that they used to. But I can see it. People would tell me, "Oh, it pays back 96, 97, 98%. I said, "Yeah, that's not bad. I'm going to give you $100. Then you're going to hand me two. And I'm going to keep doing that every 30 seconds for the rest of your life. How much money am I going to get from you?" That's a pretty good deal. That's 60 times 2. That's $120 an hour. Would you take $120 an hour for a living? I certainly would. Never made 120. Well, I can't say that. It's hard to make $120 an hour. There's a whole lot of setup to get there, and all that setup doesn't pay you anything. But be that as it may, yeah, it's the house wins. Yeah, Tractor Man, I certainly would look into it. The thing you have to do is protect yourself, because YouTube's not doing anything for us. They're going to make it best for them. That's all they're in it for. That's all they're ever going to be in it for. Cover your butt. My wife listens, and when she hears Grampy's Workshop is somebody that I just started watching. I ran into him on Gator's channel. Uh, I like Mike. Mike is the guy who runs Grampy's Workshop. And when Lydia hears Grampy's Workshop, she says, "Oh, that's Grampy. We're a family. The whole group of us. We know each other. Maybe you don't know everything about me. It's probably a good thing that you don't. I would just assume that there's a little bit of mystery in life. But yeah, yep. Let's see. Uh, Guys, I've been at this now. It's 1:08. I think I'm going to stop before I use up all the electrons in the world. And you're going to see me sitting here for a little while, and then YouTube will eventually fade. Don't know why it does that, but that's what it does. Thanks a lot for stopping by. I got a chance to get a lot of things off my chest and a chance to talk to you. It's nice having this one-on-one feedback. I really need to figure out a way to manage this a little better, but like I said, I've only got a month that I'm going to be doing this. You two have a blessed day.